Right here, down. Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Come on, let's do this. Family, I'll do 1, 2, 3.
You see, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
On Eagles Nation and TMTP family, welcome back to another episode here on the Main Thing Podcast presents. It's your boy, Mr. Owens, and after further review, the call stands. I'm still official with no stripes.
What's going on, Eagles family? I'm your man, Big Huss, the one you trust, bringing you all your Philadelphia Eagles latest. So, we just had a Sunday matchup versus the Bills where we pulled it off 13-12, but one of the weirdest games that you'll watch. Look, same team being the Eagles, but at the same time, two different teams for real. First half, Super Bowl contenders. Offense doing what they got to do. Defense playing lights out. I'm like, here we go. This is what we're talking about, right? Second half, defense still doing what they do, but the offense playing a little bit more timid, a little bit more conservative, right? And that's not how you're supposed to finish games. This should have been a blowout versus the Bills. And we left a minute because we took our foot off the gas. So the final score really doesn't tell the story of the whole game. You really had to watch it. But the Eagles going to Buffalo, right? And Buffalo is one of the hardest places to play, especially this time of year, weather conditions, playoffs right around the corner. They're the number 4 offense in football. The number 1 rushing attack. That used to be us. It's them this year. So James Cook the Bull, they're doing what they do, right? Yeah, Josh Allen in primetime games, we held this offense to 12 points. The fewest home points since 2021. Hey, handling business. Handling business. That's how you do it, right? That's how you get it done, right? The Eagles are now 11-5, alive for the number 2 seed, still very much contenders. There was a lot to love about this game, but at the end of it, you still had that sour taste in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it raised some questions about the offense. Each game, you shouldn't go into the game like, which offense are we going to get? Are we going to get that first half offense? Or is it going to be the second half? It's not consistent enough. But we'll dive more into all of that. You know what I mean? Per usual.
Not consistent enough. We shouldn't be going into last week of the NFL season and still trying to figure out what offense is going to be on that field. But to our loyal supporters, thank you. Y'all know it's all love. The Main Thing Podcast presents can't happen without the support from y'all. And to our new supporters, welcome to the community and our family. Let's continue to do our part for the community and our family. Please continue to like the videos. It does help with the visibility in the algorithm. Disrespect at comment section. Share and subscribe to the community and our content. Last but not least, don't forget to do this. Make sure to turn on them noties and keep your ears and eyes peeled to the streets like your local neighborhood watch. Wow. So you don't miss when me and Big Huss drop this pressure on y'all. You know the vibes.
So let's get right to it, man. Quick snapshot of the game, right? Just quick little brief summary, Eagles win 13-12. Total yards, Bills had 331 yards. Hey, number 1 offense in football. The way this defense played, as much as they were on the field, I'm not mad at that. The Eagles, on the opposite hand, 239 yards. That's not going to be enough to get it done on a consistent basis. We need more from the offense. Now, sacks, the Eagles got 5 of them things. I told you last week.
You called 4 of them Jones.
We was going to come away.
4 or 5.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We was going to get there. And we did it for a total net loss of 51 yards. Josh Allen, he was pressured all night. Honestly, this is probably the most disheveled They've seen the Bills offense this year, especially going into a game like this. Forced error throws, forced them into checkdowns, panic decisions. He's running around, he in the backyard, right? On his head. This defense is serious, y'all. Now, the Eagles offense, once again, they left much to be desired. They leave a lot of meat on the bone, you know? First half, though, functional, creative, aggressive. I was like, KP, okay, I see you, bro. You're doing it. You're doing it. Second half, I believe it was like 16 or 17 total yards. We didn't have one completion in the second half. This is the second time we've done this year, and still somehow we're able to pull out wins. But you talking about moving through the playoffs, moving to the Super Bowl, this isn't, you can't, what's the word I'm looking for? This isn't sustainable playing like this. You at least got to give us a little something. Defense, they basically played the whole second half. They played 72 snaps on Sunday.
I forgot with the 16 total yards or something like that. No matter of fact, it was in reference to not completing a pass in a game, and with it being the second time. We're now in the company of the 1987 New England Patriots within that regard of not completing any passes in a half for multiple games. With the talent that we have on the side of the offense, it should be you can run a screen route and get more yards than, you see what I'm saying, than 16 yards, man. We gotta be more consistent. We gotta be more aggressive. When we have our opponent down, let's step on their neck and take their heart. It's been too many times where we have a huge lead. That's what you want your defense to have. You want your defense, especially the type of defense we have. Give your defense a lead so you can let them play free, pin their ears back, and get after the quarterback. It's no exception for us to be up 13-0 and then allow the Bills to chip away, and let them hang around that closely to allow them to even have the attempt to win the game at the end of the game. That is, oh my gosh, it's so mind-blowing. It's so frustrating to continue to watch our offense do this, but our defense is putting up historic numbers, and we're squeaking out wins. That is championship caliber football, where you can win it any way how you want, whether it's by a lot, whether it's by a little, gritty, nasty. It doesn't always have to be pretty. But we have to start getting back to our fundamentals and basics. And like you said, it's not going to be sustainable, especially going against the type of caliber of teams that we probably are going to have to see in the playoffs if we want to defend our Super Bowl title.
You talk about doing that against the Rams? You think it's going to be enough to beat the Rams?
What happened last time?
They've been exactly.
We were down 21, I believe,
bro. It's not sustainable, bro. You can't win like that. Not on a consistent basis. The fact that we did it twice in a few years, we'd be like, man, that's a crazy stat. Twice in 1 year is like, what the hell? With these guys, you got AJ, you got Saquon, Dallas Goedert, Hurts, Smitty. That makes no sense. And then for me to hear that, and not to go off on tangents, we got to kind of go through this, but for me to hear KP talking about, at one point we were just, just running plays. We were just running, we were just out there just running stuff. Okay. You're the OC. Why are you just running stuff? Like, what? There was no rhyme or reason to why you did it.
Let's try this one right here. I've been working on it in the office, and I just want to see if it works. What are we talking about, bro? You're supposed to have a game plan. That's the whole purpose of the whole week. Practice, film sessions, and study, preparing for your next opponent. These are things that you're supposed to get taken care of and have handled before you get to Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever the case may be, whatever we're playing. Kevin Patullo has to be more professional within his job. Kevin Patullo has to get better and more creative within calling plays, because we're too stagnant. You can't be out here, like you said, to add on to your point, in a presser talking about, the box was stacked, but we already had a run play design and called, so we're just going to run a run play. That makes absolutely no sense. You're literally running into the strength of the defense. If they're stacking the box, they're trying to take away the run. Something that every NFL team that we have played this season has done. They want to stop Saquon Barkley. You would think by week 17, Kevin Patullo would have been like, oh, well, they're trying to take away Saquon Barkley, so let's open up some other alternative options to get this offense going and started.
Man.
It's fool's gold. It looks good in first half, most games. Then the second half, it disappears like Casper. Where are the creative designs? Where are the route concepts? Why are we still seeing spacing issues? I saw 3 receivers all in one spot. What are we doing? I saw one play where, like you said, Hus, we're going to have to keep going on, but I saw one play where you only had Devontae Smith running a route, single route, a solo route. You had, I believe, Dallas got to run into flat, and that's why QB1 had to scramble out. He had no place to go with the football. There was no options. How do you just have one solo route with the amount of talent we have on this team? But Main Thing Podcast presents family. Here we go. We're on to the next topic. So on to officiating and non-calls. We have to remember to keep this in context. All right, let's get this out the way. We don't talk about the refs on this channel, and we've played ball long enough where you don't leave it in the refs' hands. But with all that being said, this crew was awful. All right, the no bad calls and the bad calls that mattered to the Philadelphia Eagles. Devontae Smith, the Smitty catch overturned. That was questionable.
How was that not a catch? But you give Bull the one off the helmet off the ground, bro.
Crazy word.
I said no.
The Timu David Tyree catch. You man, you say the David
like,
Tyree in the Super Bowl off the helmet, like
Giants joint. I'm looking like there's no way.
And then the crazy thing is, I forgot if it was Mike Prieri or whoever it was, the rules analyst there that was talking. He was telling Tom Brady, I think Joe Buck, it was a catch. Then it comes from freaking I want to say in New York, they even said it was a catch, but it was the officials, I believe, upstairs or something that overturned it. But when you saw it, the ball never moved. He had a natural catching motion. He caught it, was coming down to secure it, to tug it, and that was the catch. But they said that the ball moved and hit the ground. You can look at that film, that replay, not 10 out of 10 times. Devontae Smith made that catch. Then also, it was a heck of a catch. It was a heck of a catch because also in our preview video, we said to clearly throw the ball deep, test the Bills' defensive backs, their corners. Tre'Davious White, old head, you see what I'm saying? Well into his career. But we all know the beautiful dime that QB1 threw, which should have been a timeout. Tre'Davious White grabbing an arm, holding the arm down. As a ref, if you usually see a receiver going up with one arm, we have 2 arms and 2 hands, people, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls of all ages. You see a receiver going up, and as strong as Arthur Juan K is, you know he'll have 2 hands up. The fact that his arm was being grabbed and he tried to catch it with the one.
My man was holding his arm with 2 hands. Tre'Davious was literally holding my man's arm. I'm like, how do you not see this? I'm at home and I see this.
He was pulling on an arm like a little kid pull on their parents' arm when they want a specific toy or candy in the store.
Like, bro.
Hey, NFL, y'all need some new refs. Me and Big Hus available, dog. Like, we got the eyes don't lie, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is terrible. That was clearly a PI. And to be honest with you, that should have been a timeout, but at worst, that should have been a PI, and the ball should have been placed half the distance to the goal. But I digress, all right? We're going to talk about Devontae Smith again. I believe it was Christian Bedford, when QB1 threw the ball. Last time I checked, we played corner and we played safety. We played in the secondary, right? Because last time I checked, they said when you're playing the ball, you're supposed to turn your head and find the ball to play the ball, right?
Bull, go ahead.
You were already on top of it. Bull never turned his head. He ran straight into Devontae Smith with his back to ball, contacted Devontae Smith before the ball got there. Then it's no call. That is a PI. What are we missing here? That it matched what Christian Bedford did, matched everything in the rule book that the NFL or football in general discusses about a PI, but no PI was called. But it was the same gentleman that was back there calling bogus pass interferences on us for the Bills. I was confused. What we always say is it doesn't always have to be one-sided with calls because some teams are undisciplined. But when both teams are not undisciplined, the calls need to be consistent. Okay, like I don't understand how they're missing these calls. But then also another big one that got me super hot because this is our franchise Super Bowl winning quarterback. QB1 got hit out of bounds on the sideline with 6 minutes and 54 seconds left in the second quarter with us being up 7-0. He got hit by Lewis, I want to say number 39. QB1 was clearly on the on white. Lewis hits QB1 in front of the ref. The ref looks like nobody. And then I want to say we were on the Eagles sideline. Everybody's calling for the flag.
Yeah.
The ref just, now we don't want to compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges, but we know Josh Allen usually gets those calls. QB1 didn't get that call that day when we clearly see him on the chalk. Again, we need more consistency in these penalties or non-penalty calls. QB1 again in the pocket, throwing from the pocket. He was staring down the pressure from the Bills' defensive line, throwing dimes, getting hit, roughing the passer, getting slammed down on the ground, everything like that. I'm like, yo, y'all. So y'all are basically calling non-calls or not calling any calls to keep the Bills in this game. I get it. All right. So then again, the Bills O-line all night holding Jalen Breadman Carter. He over here fighting, getting yoked and everything like this, trying to spin move and everything. It's ridiculous. Like, how do we see it from our house?
That's why Bull got chopped in the throat for real. Because I got to get him off me. If the refs ain't going to do it, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. My man's hitting with the Mr. Me. Yeah, got him up out of there, bro. Come on.
Wax on, wax off. And that's the same bull that Coop on the one where they thought that James Cook had fumbled when the ball had popped out. Who mushed him? That's the same Spencer Brown.
He did.
It's like, bro, you getting throat chopped, you getting mushed around, bro. We just playing physical bully ball that we play in Philly. Get used to it. See what I'm saying? Y'all crying over stuff like crying over still, man. Just get a little bit more physical. But then the defense calls, because the PI on Quinyon on Josh Palmer, that was a soft call. Josh Palmer jumped into Quinyon. Quinyon played the ball and got his head turned around. Proper form, proper technique, proper fundamentals, and still got called for the PI. The Dawson Knox goal line catch. Number 14, I don't know his name, but that's the bull, like you said, that made the helmet or the fake helmet catch. Mm-hmm. I feel he committed an offensive PI on Marcus Epps to get Dawson Knox free. He ran straight into into Marcus Epps. No offensive PI call there. The bottom line is this wasn't just about letting the teams play and let them sort themselves out on a football field. This was inconsistent and one-sided in favor of the Buffalo Bills. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles still came out victorious in this game.
No, for sure. And look, you spoke through it all. The officiating in this game, definitely questionable. But like me and Mr. Owens always say, and we talk about, you in the games like this, you have to take the refs out of it. You have to remove all of their control and just take over the game. We left the door open too many times to allow these kind of questionable calls. If we was going in there handling the business, honest, this should have been a 40 burger, a 40 to whatever they ended up putting up. We were dominating this game and we really let our foot off the gas, but side of the ball that didn't let their foot off the gas, man, that Eagles defense, okay? You talk about a masterclass. You talk about the Don Vic Fangio, right?
Hey, like
unit together, bro. Come on. Yeah. Hey. You know what I'm saying? They were out there getting money, straight dominating from start to finish. Buffalo entered the game averaging about 373 yards per game, right? Around 160 yards, 158.9 if you want to be exact, rushing yards per game, best in the NFL. They have been toting on folks all year. James Cook is really having a year, right? But at the end of this game, James Cook only had about 74 rushing yards, I believe, on 20 or so carries. Bills turned one-dimensional. This wasn't about them trying to survive and find a way. We were controlling them literally from the time the clock started to the time that the clock ended. I love to see it out of this unit. The aggression, the communication. They were flying around like a Super Bowl unit. The run defense, everyone did their job, right? Early drives, James Cook makes Quinyon miss. And I was like, I ain't gonna lie on that one. I was like, damn, please don't let it be this kind of day. Please,
that
oh
first
please.
joint in the
'Cause
first
it didn't-
quarter.
Yeah.
On that left
Quinyon
side.
grabbing, Quinyon grabbing air, James Cook going. I said, no. But they tightened it up. He tried Q again. Good fit, right? I love to see it. Fool me once, you won't fool me twice, right? That's coaching. That's accountability. That's a player like, you know what? I ain't do my job. I got y'all on the next one. And sure enough, my man came and did his job. The run defense, it wasn't just the back ends we talking about. It was everybody, the collective, the D line, the edge discipline, the secondary tackling. They were smacking folks. Marcus Epps flipping James Cook the way he did, put ball on his head. Go get the stretcher. I thought James was done. Bro, I thought James was done. He smacked him like that. The linebackers were downhill and violent. Jahad Campbell, another player, had a hell of a game, right? Filling in for N'Kobe Dean. Man, when I tell you they shut the run down, Josh Allen maybe had one run where he's about to pull off when we got him. But that was it. For the most part, we held this unit in check.
The defense had better intentions all from the D line, to the linebackers, to the secondary, to Vic Fangio.
From the rip.
Everybody had bad intentions on that defensive side of the football. And to add on to your point, to shut down James Cook, the younger brother of Dalvin Cook, we know Dalvin Cook, what he did at Florida State and with the Minnesota Vikings. But James Cook coming out of Georgia, so you already know a lot of his boys, Breadman, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Kobe Dean, Keeler, all of them are over there. All of them played on the same national championship team at Georgia. He is a handful, especially like you said on our preview video. You think that you have him at 5 yards, he'll find a little slither, little hole, pop out of there. Next thing you know, he turns into a 25, 30-yard gain. I was very, very proud that our defense, after, like you said, Quinyon misses on that first tackle, they buckled down, rallied to the football, and made sure that James Cook did not have a day on us. But one player on defense who me and Big Hus been loving ever since we drafted him out of Houston Christian University, and that young man is Jalyx Hunt. We know that Godfather Vic, the Don Vic Fangio, is maximizing him to his fullest potential, with him only being in his second season. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, we all know that Jalyx Hunt is not the cleanest edge defender, all right, and that's okay. We know that he switched to an edge defender from playing safety prior in his early days, but he is already an elite athlete that is used correctly by Vic Fangio. He does well in his stunt game, he does well in delayed pressures, and he also does well in space. He had 7 tackles on the game, 2 sacks, 29 yards lost. The net total, 29 yards lost by the 2 sacks for Jalyx Hunt. He had cleanup sacks. He moved differently out there in Buffalo with all the weather that was going on. One play that stuck out to me in particular was when Josh Allen was doing a little scramble drill, looking like backyard football, like you said, spinning the buck, woody whoop, doing all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, you just see Jalyx Hunt's athleticism flash, because he just flashed across the screen and sacked Josh Allen. I was like, and Josh Allen, we all know it's very, very hard to get down in the open field, not only in the open field, but in the pocket in general. But Jalyx Hunt did a great job of finishing him off. And the defensive line as a whole did a great job at rushing as a whole unit and getting to Josh Allen all day on Sunday.
Hey, no, for sure. Like you already mentioned, Jalyx Hunt, he hasn't been playing this position very, very long. Really only like his second or third or maybe 4th top. I'm talking about as far as career, college, and pros playing the edge position. He is getting better every year, week by week. I see, and we are seeing why Vic Fangio was high on this kid, because prior to Fangio pulling the guy in, we didn't know who this guy was. Nobody knew Bull, but Fangio was like, this kid's special, and we're starting to see it, man. Some other special players, we got Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Look, this was Jalen Carter's first game back, and my man showed up and showed out. You understand me? Him and his brother Jordan Davis, look, they've been absorbing double teams, killing interior lanes. Hey, best stretch of football that Jordan Davis has played, look, since us drafting him.
Yes.
My man is looking, he got snubbed for being a Pro Bowler. He deserves to be a Pro Bowler this year. He is playing at an elite level, right? Then you got JC coming back off shoulder surgery. We like, man, we'll ease him into this. We won't see too much JC tonight. I think my man played, it's like 70-some% of the snaps on Sunday, right? Look like himself again. Got a sack, blocked the extra point that turned out to be big, right? Pivotal joint, batted a pass in the red zone. The defense, they have their identity. Physical, violent, sound. They rally to the ball, and they are a fast unit. This is a very athletic defense from the front end to the back end, and we're seeing it on a week-to-week basis. So it's only up for this defense. It is scary hours in Philly when it comes to this.
Yes, and to add on to your point about Batman Carter with that sack on Josh Allen, he did the right guard dirty. He threw him out the club, bro. Ooh. My man,
beat him quick.
My man was laying flat on his back. I'm like, hold on now, but like you said, beat him quick. Got straight to the point, got direct to Josh Allen and finished him off, man. But now Big Hus had covered Jordan Davis and Batman Carter. We got to get into those secondary and coverage notes. All right. Cooper did jump. He had a career high 9 tackles. He was very, very physical coming up on in run defense. That's one person on our defense. Well, it's multiple people, but one person in particular. When it's a ball carrier in open space and I see Coop coming over there, I know 100% of the time he is going to get that ball carrier down to the ground. If you want to learn how to tackle properly, watch Cooper DeJohn's tape. His tackling is the fundamentals, the basics, and the technique is immaculate. It is immaculate.
By far the best tackler on the team.
For sure.
By far.
For sure. He's by far the best tackler on this Philadelphia Eagles football team. Again, we all know that he's excellent in run fits, and he had a big hit on Dawson Knox, which only allowed Dawson Knox to get a 2-yard gain. I believe Coop was named Tom Brady's award after the LFG award.
What's the LFG?
So kudos to him for being named basically the player of the game through Tom Brady's eyes. Now we got to switch over to his counterpart, and that being Quinyon 23-1 Mitchell. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, this was not Q's best game. Okay. We all know that he doesn't get the ball thrown his way often. So that removes him from being the best cover corner. But the Bills did have 3 explosive plays. 2 of them were very freakish type of plays, contested catches. One was legit coverage beater versus cover 8. The Eagles, we rarely give up explosive plays. So we have to live with those. But Quinyon, outside of him getting called for those pass interference calls and that one and the one guy catching it off his helmet, Quinyon again, he didn't have his true best game, because usually when teams target Quinyon, 9 times out of 10, those receivers ain't coming down with the football. So it was just a shock to see Quinyon in a position to make a play, and he didn't make a play as well. One thing that I give a strike on Quinyon as well was in the fourth quarter on 4th and 10 when they ran the little Statue of Liberty play. He didn't keep contained. He got sucked in too far with the receiver, allow the number 26 to get outside and get up that sideline and pick up that first down. If we knew our assignments, played some football. Quinyon should have made that tackle, and that should have been game right there. But we're not going to be too hard on Quinyon because Quinyon arguably has been one of the best, if not the best cover corners in 2025.
Facts. No, big facts. Big facts. I can't be mad at Q. And this is what I was when I was watching the game. I'm like, look, every corner's gonna have his day where it's not your best day. Q has been elite all season. If we're looking at this and just being honest, it wasn't his best game, but it wasn't like he played a terrible game. It's just it was a day where some folks made some plays, some questionable plays, but some plays, right? Now, what wasn't questionable was this goal line defense. Championship material. Well, this is how you get it done, right? You had the Zach Bond stop on Josh Allen on the 4th and goal, which was a huge, crucial tackle. I'm like, and first off, as we all know, Josh Allen ain't no small guy. That is a big man, no diddy. You talking about 6'5", every bit 245-ish, and he's moving. He's an athlete. Josh Allen, an athlete with it. So to get him down, mano, big tackle from Bill Bourbon. Then you had Marcus Epps, who was coming downhill on James Cook basically all day. Marcus Epps was straight flushing stuff this game. I got to be completely honest with you. Like, everything that we loved about C.J. Gardner-Johnson last year, the hard hitting, the nasty, Marcus Epps bring that just minus the extra stuff, right? He keeps it all within the lines of the football. You had a Dory Jackson, this was another big tackle on Dawson Knox at the 1, goes up, first glance, looks like tight end gets in. They run it back. My man was shy about half a football. And we know Dory Jackson ain't no tackle. Hey, bro, love you. You've been getting better, but he ain't no tackler. That was a huge tackle by a corner on a tight end, right? Then you had the 2-point try. Fangio was like, look, man, I ain't just about to let Josh Allen sit back here and just do what he does. He sends Cooper. It's aggressive because whenever you blitz, there's always vacancies on the back end. You have to be tight in your discipline and your coverages and everything else. It was risky, right? But Allen missed. And why did Allen miss? One, because at the end of the day, I got to be completely honest, he ain't QB1. He really ain't built for them type moments. I'm going to keep it a bean. Just being honest, right? Second, he's moving. He's off platform. You're off platform because you just saw a slot blitz. So he's off platform, not able to set his feet. You miss a wide open receiver, that's game. Truth, the Eagles, yeah, we might have got a little lucky. But as we all know, luck plays a small part in football. But luck usually happens when you're doing your job, when you're checking your boxes. So we earn the right to be lucky. I ain't mad at it. Defense did what it had to do in big moments once again.
And as you mentioned, Hoop coming off that edge, it was risky. But him putting that pressure on Josh Allen and then us getting that interior pressure, I believe that was Jalen Phillips. That wasn't that play, but Jalen Phillips almost got Josh Allen and almost strip sack Josh Allen. I think it was like the play before the Dawson Knox one. I believe so. But yeah, but we did get that interior pressure and then that outside pressure by Coop. Go ahead, because
no, I was about to say the one you talking about, Jalyx Hunt was going for the strip sack on that joint. But in that moment, bro, just get him on the ground. I know this is two different plays. We're kind of bouncing around a little bit. I hope we're not confusing you. But there was a play when Jalen Phillips was basically
Josh Allen
chasing. What's the quarterback? Josh Allen. I'm sorry, I just want to bring that information. Chasing Josh Allen. He's running him down. Instead, Jalen Phillips, he's going for the turnover play, except he just misses it. But if you go for the legs and get him down, it's a loss. It's our ball type. Sometimes you got to go for the short thing. And that was a moment where getting him on the ground was bigger than just trying to force a fumble.
Should have went for the short thing and just tackling him, getting Josh Allen. That would have been probably like a 10-yard loss instead of him missing the strip and then Josh Allen sliding out of the tackle and keeping the play alive. But
down to like the 2.
Man. But matter of fact, it was because he had dumped it down. Or did he run? We're not going to confuse y'all, but just to Husky's point, Jalen Phillips was tracking down Josh Allen, and then they got the ball down close to the goal line. So now we got to flip the script and talk about our offense, the good, with the first half of this team. Now, QB1 in the first half, he was 13 of 20. Solid. 110 yards, had a tie. Did out to Dallas. Did 5 for 5 on third down, which you love to see because that's the money down in football. And he had a 139.1 passer rating versus the blitz. This is, again, coming from everybody, all the defensive coordinators, and everybody's looking at tape and saying, oh, well, if you just blitz QB1, he's not going to be able to throw. This all on top of this, that with Kevin Patullo calling the plays that he's calling. He went 5 for 5 on third down. Now, the under center play action finally showed up. Arthur Juan K, he had a monster game, but it was all in these awful conditions out in Buffalo. It was raining, the wind was heavy, it was cold. We ran a lot of heavy personnel on that timeout drive. We had 6 O linemen, 3 tight ends. The play action off the run look was immaculate because we started to establish the run game early. I know that we came out throwing the football early, but then once we started running, Saquon was finding some holes and some lanes to run through, picking up some nice yardage, but we abandoned it. So what happens when you abandon the run game? Play action is non-existent because the defense is not threatened by run if you don't run the football. Another coaching malpractice by Kevin Patullo, real quick, because is he ran Tank Bigsby one time. Why didn't I see Tank Bigsby getting more carries and more touches in this football game? But that's another topic for another day. That timeout drive was the best drive of the season for our offense here in Philadelphia. This is what the offense can be. But again, when you get too conservative, when you're playing not to lose, you take your foot off the gas. We can be a prolific offense, but with all that mixed in a pot, we're going to continue getting the same results if Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni don't adjust this offense, especially with this being the last game of the season versus Washington in the regular season and us heading into the playoffs. This has to change because our defense is doing an immaculate job. Our offense, just give us 21, 24. You see what our defense is doing. It's the small things. We're not winning on the early downs. We're not staying ahead of the sticks. We're getting penalties, shooting ourselves in the foot. We're not executing on the field. Our coaches are not putting the players in the best possible position for them to succeed. It's a culmination of everything. This needs to get sorted out before we go to the playoffs to make this deep run to the Super Bowl.
No, for sure. And I agree with you on the Tank Bigsby joint. Tank Bigsby, he deserves at least 5 touches a game. At least 5. If you're going to run Saquon 20 or so between receptions and actual run plays, cool. Tank should get 5 to 8 just because he's proven that he could be a difference maker. He truly has. So we have to definitely start incorporating them more. Now, we went from being a team that didn't motion at all to now we use damn near more motion than anybody, but we're not using it to identify certain tendencies throughout a defense or different players without a defense. We're using it just to use it. We're not using it to set up the other plays. We're not using it in a creative fashion. We're just going through the motion of it. No horizontal stresses off of it. Right now, if we're being honest, the offense operates better without motion. Mm-hmm. When we do motion, it's not working out as well, right? And then you also mentioned the condensed formations. When we're running condensed formations, more times than not, the Eagles are going to run the ball. Then when we spread it out, more times than not, Eagles are going to pass the ball. It's too predictable. Everything is too predictable. It's too easy. This is easy money. I'm at home watching I'm seeing it from the house. I'm not getting paid to do this. Y'all are getting paid hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. How are you not seeing this? There is no creativity within this offense. You see spurts of it when we're being aggressive, right? When we're hungry, when we're like, hey, we got to get out to a fast start. But that quickly dwindles away once we have that lead. And we're like, all right, let's just get out here. Now we start playing to lose instead of choking the opponent out. As you've taught in any sport, when you have an opponent down, you keep them down. We don't do that. We start aggressive and then we go super conservative. Now, there's ways of draining the clock without going super conservative, without running it on first down, running it on second down. It's 3rd and 13. Let's do a draw play to Will Shipley. Let's throw something to the flat real quick, a quick slant. Now we're going to punt it. Right? There's different ways. There's other ways around that. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's still stay with the quick game. Let's stay aggressive through the 3rd quarter till we have a nice commanding lead, and then maybe we dial it down. We have to learn to finish strong as an offense. I'm not going to say as a defense, not going to maybe special teams here and there, but as an offense, really, you have to learn to finish strong, and it's more so a KP thing. Because what folks don't realize, when Jalen Hurts is in certain situations, out of the formation that he's given, there's only so many answers that he has. There's only so many plays that he can run out of this select formation. And if they're all bad, and I just got to run with it and hope for the best. Just don't F it up. He's not giving the proper answers to win in the situations that he's being put in. The answers that Kellen Moore gave him, and you saw MVP level performance out of him.
The time on our channel. Situational football. Kevin Patullo doesn't understand situational football. You're up 13-0. Yeah, you don't want to be too aggressive where you're possibly giving the ball back to the other team and forcing turnovers, but then also you don't want to be too conservative where you're not moving the ball at all. I'm seeing Braden Mann on the field more than I'm seeing the offense on the field. This is crazy work. All right, and on top of that, Braden Mann is a few times where punts were almost locked.
Yeah,
they were getting close a lot.
They were getting
but
close.
Our offense wasn't helping them out. You see what I'm saying? Not helping the special teams out. It's offense, defense, special teams, and a coaching staff. We have to get better as an offense, and more specifically, as we've been talking, because Kevin Patullo, you've had weeks on weeks on weeks to figure this out. Shouldn't be that hard with the amount of talent that we have on the team. Nobody else had this hard of a job when they were offensive coordinator. As soon as you step in an offensive coordinator, now we have issues with the offense. 2023 wasn't the best year for us here in Philadelphia, but our offense was ranked top 10. Still, with everything going on, with the defense being as trash as it was, our offense still was top 10. You are the common denominator. I feel it's really squarely on him. The reason why our offense has been in such a funk and not be able to get in the proper groove that they need to get into. And with that being said, the ongoing problem, the run game. The run first identity doesn't work. If the lineman blocked the same defender, we had a couple times where I saw Big Fred, Tyler Steen, they weren't communicating on that side. Big Fred didn't take the outside blitzer. He's his man that Tyler Steen was supposed to slide and hit. I'm like, it's a lot going on in the run game. Nobody accounts for the linebackers. Everybody takes care of the first level of defense. Where's the second level of defense? That's the main people you need to take care of to spring big runs are the linebackers. That is the job of a linebacker on rundowns. Stop the run. You see what Zach Billboard Bond does. You see what N'Kobe Dean does. You see what Jahai Campbell did on Sunday. We have to account for the linebacker. Shaq Thompson, who he's a dog. I like him. Played with the Panthers for so many years. Now in Buffalo, he was screaming through the hole like nobody's business, getting into the backfield. I'm tired of seeing our running backs getting the football and getting contacted behind the line of scrimmage. We lead the league in the most rushing attempts with yards lost behind the line of scrimmage because our offensive line isn't the same offensive line that we have seen in years past. Now, one person who I do see that's struggling on the line, it might be an unpopular opinion, but it's too late in the season, so we know that change can happen. Cam Beefy Jurgens. Cam Beef Jergy Jurgens. He has been an issue. My man up there looking like a turnstile. Everybody getting a turn on him. He's spinning around looking like he don't know what to do. He ain't watch film that week. if we're going to keep it and be honest, we're going to call out everybody. We don't play favoritism over here. We're going to call out what we see in the game and on film. Cam Jurgens has been a liability. And you know what's crazy? When we put Jack Driscoll in there at center, we had a little success with Jack Driscoll in there. And that's why I said unpopular opinion, because I know it's too late in the season. But that, if it was halfway mark, that would be something that I would want to see. Maybe try Jack Driscoll out of center. Because Cam Jurgens is not saying it's end all be all that he won't return to form. But right now, he is a huge liability in the run game. That's why we're not able to get any runs up the middle. Something that we were doing at a high success rate last season, running up the middle. We're not getting no push up there. So if you're not getting no push, guess what you're not going to get when you're running the football? Yards. That has to be figured out in the sport. Again, the interior line, brutal reps, what we keep seeing on film. It just continues to show up on film week in and week out. The read blocks are failing on a weekly basis. Now, with all that accumulated all in one, Saquon, he's still being Saquon when given space. In the condensed sets and the stack boxes, it's a disaster because up front we're not getting no push. But not only do I put the blame on offensive line for not being able to create those holes, but as much as we love Jeff Stoutland and as much as praise that we give him, and he should be a first Hall of Famer when his career is all done, he needs to get this offensive line in order and get some type of identity going with the offensive line.
No, for sure. I agree with that as well. And it's like, and yes, Stoutland has some say in this because one, he is a run game coordinator. He coaches the O-line and things of that nature. But I take this and I go send it back up to the top. Hey, P, why are we running the ball and there's 9 people in the box? And then there's no options to check out of anything but a run. Like, it's not making sense. If the box is loaded, throw the ball. They're clearly anticipating run. This isn't a fake. They are clearly anticipating. And what do? Hike the ball. Saquon might make somebody miss, and then he's tackled for a 2-yard loss. Or he's fighting. He gets a short gain. It's just we're not helping the players succeed. We're putting them in bad situations and just going out there looking at us. We have better athletes. They'll win. No. This is the NFL. Everybody here is a professional. We have to start coaching like a professional. You're not helping them out. So then you go to the second half of the football. 16 yards, 17 yards. Let that sink in. All this damn all-pro talent. These same players were just in the Super Bowl less than a year ago, winning a Super Bowl, hoisting a Lombardi, going ape shit on Patrick Mahomes and them.
Let's do a moment of silence for this one.
Lord, what are we doing? Drive chart, punt, 1 first down. What type of football is that? You can't even muster up. You can't gain 10 yards. Come on. Hurts drops back. 8 dropbacks. Now, honestly, once again, put in a bad position. He did the best he can do, especially one that should have been a sack. And he managed to get out of that joint. He pulled a Houdini move with that one. Now, the one that I will say that he's at fault with, the slant to AJ, it wasn't there.
I don't know why he threw that.
It wasn't there. Yeah, like it wasn't there. But them other ones, he did the best he could. He was given a bad play sheet, bad answers to what the defense was designing. No play design from the offense. Once again, first half, you saw some rhythm. You saw some cadence. All right, they're sustaining. Second half, it vanished. It's not there. Completely different offense. Under center play action, not working because once again, you can't play action if you're not running the ball. It's not going to work. Quick hitches on 3rd and long, that seems to be just the thing now. It's 3rd and long, quick hitches, draw play, a little quick handoff. It's just there's no creativity. But why are you in 3rd and long to begin with? Because you didn't do well on first down, because more than likely you ran the ball and everybody in the stadium knew you were going to run the ball. You didn't do well on second down because you probably ran the ball or you did something real short in the flat. Just a little quick something. Everybody in the world knew you were about to do that. So now you're in 3rd and 13 and 3rd and 15 or whatever it is. And everybody knows you're passing. You just made it so hard on yourself for what? Let's switch it up. How about we throw on first down? How about we throw on first? Just to see how it goes. Switch it up. Give us a spark. Give us some juice. That was that was a good call. You know what I'm saying? The creativity. That's what this offense needs. It needs some juice. We're not playing good football. We're playing hope football. I hope he makes a play. I hope he can go down here and make this catch. Please, please, please. You're wishing on a star. No. No. That's not how you get it done. Yeah, that's not how you get it done.
Man. And one thing to add on to your point about QB1, you can see the maturity and growth in that one play where he was about to get sacked, escaped out of it, and then I believe Greg Russo was on his bumper trying to run him down. And instead of forcing the ball, instead of trying to throw the football downfield and make a play, what did he do? Took a slide. Live to see another down. I love to see that because he didn't have nothing downfield because obviously Patullo doesn't give the route designs and the concepts to allow him the ability to have open receiver down the field. But I did love that he did that slide and did not force the football. So we're seeing the maturity and growth with our QB right in front of our eyes. And back to Patullo, the conservative play calling, because already spoke on 3rd and 8 with the run call to Will Shipley. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You have Otto Wanke, Slim Reaper, Dallas Goodert. You got Saquon in the backfield if you want to run screens all the time because on this channel, what do you clamor for? Screens. I don't see any screens. It's ridiculous. You're conceding to the defense. I waved the white flag. You know what? We're just going to punt the football back and allow our defense to do what our defense does. And that conservative play calling stems from our defense being as elite as it is because they know that the defense rarely gives up yards. Rarely gives up points. So as an offensive-minded coach, what are you going to do? All right, well, if the defense ain't giving them nothing and it's hard for the opponent's offense to move the ball up down the field, okay, well, I ain't got to be aggressive. All I got to do is take care of the football. Don't make any mistakes. Don't do any dumb plays, which you usually do. And then the defense can go ahead and take care of the rest. It's a team game. It's not, allow the defense to do what they want to do.
I was just going to say that.
And then on the offense, well, you're coming out just putting up 16 yards in a half, 15 minutes. No, I'm sorry, 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Yep.
And you must for 16 yards because you want to get conservative. You want to play not to lose. You want to say, don't turn the football over. Patullo, you have to straighten your act up. All right. End of the half with timeout. We played for a field goal. This is coaching malpractice. If we were just talking about how badly Jake Elliott has been this past season, in the 2025 season, why would we play for a field goal? Why would you not trust the offense to go down and pick up the first down or score the timeout? You're going to trust the kicker that just missed 3 in a row the week before? This is what we're doing? Come on now. The heavy personnel to stack boxes. Why are we running jumbo into stack boxes? To Husky's point, it's 8 guys in the box, 9 guys in the box. But yeah, we want to run into the strength of the defense. It makes no sense. We had Dallas Goodert at fullback. Wasn't Cameron 2 activated? He was back from injury, right? We usually put like Colin Grant or somebody who. Why do we have one of our Why do we have one of our elite pass catchers playing fullback? Not once, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls of all ages, but twice. Poor play design. Kevin Patullo. That's Kevin Poor Play Design Patullo. That's your name, man. He's predictable, stubborn, and again, we have to emphasize it. Playing not to lose. What's the old adage? Scared money don't make no money. If you're scared, go home, bro.
There you go.
If you're scared, give your position up to somebody else who will be more aggressive and put our offense in better position to succeed. Because this ain't going to cut it. Even though I still feel that we're going to win the Super Bowl, even with Kevin Patullo as the offensive coordinator, you can't be scared, bro, because scared money don't make no money, man.
Hey, not around these parts, for real. This is a game that the Eagles should have won comfortably, but we were kept in it because our defense is elite right now. Our offense, they disappeared by choice, not by weather. Because when it was pouring down at its hardest,
Throwing the ball around
KP, they over here throwing a bomb. They throwing bombs at AJ. Yeah, then the weather clears up.
Let's start running the football.
That's throwing, man. We don't want to do it when it's nice out. Yeah. What? Crazy, right? But this is a defense that's allowed 30 points in 3 games. This is a championship level defense, right? And everybody's hanging their hat on them. You know what I mean? And to this point, they've done nothing but impress. But you can't keep asking this defense to carry everything. As we said, it's 3 phases to this: offense, defense, special teams. This team is too good to be playing like they're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? Coaches need to trust their players. Coaches need to trust themselves. And like Mr. Owen said, stop playing scary and coaching scary. Scared money don't make no money. Not around here. This Philadelphia, man. We take what we want. We bully folks. We're the aggressors. Stop retreating when we got a lead. But look, the defense has carried us this far. I'm just hoping that the offense, before it's too late, because once again, the playoffs are right around the corner. We got one more game. And then it's playoff time. Then it really gets real. Then it really gets real. It's do or die. We got to get our act together on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not telling you to go out there and be the best offense in the world. Just don't go out there and let your brothers down. Give us more. Give us more. Live up to the potential that we see. There are some big names on that side of the ball. Let's start incorporating them in creative ways. That's all I'm saying. Put some points up. 24 points with this offense should not be hard to ask.
3 times a field goal, bro.
That shouldn't be hard. Not with these people. If you put up 24 points, I guarantee you we will win the Super Bowl the way this defense plays.
And comfortably. We put up 24 points.
Yeah, I'm saying, like
edge of our seats. It was crazy in a tale of 2 halves. You go from 4:25 to about 5:30, 6 o'clock. You like, yeah, I'm feeling good. First half, we looking good. We about to blow these boys out. Second half come around about 7 o'clock. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, you over here like that?
We don't like it. You clean that up. We don't like it, man. But to our loyal supporters, thank you. Y'all know it's all love. The Main Thing podcast can't happen without the support from y'all. And to our new supporters, welcome to the community and our family. Let's continue to do our part for the community and our family. Please continue to like the videos. It does help with the visibility in the algorithm. Disrespect that comment section. Share and subscribe to the community and our content. And last but not least, don't forget to do this. Make sure to turn on that notification bell, also known as the Liberty Bell looking thingy, so you don't miss when Swoop comes out with the Eagles news and updates. And real quick, Big Huss, I just want to say to our family and our supporters, happy early New Year's. And if y'all see it after midnight, happy New Year's to y'all. Please make smart choices and wise decisions. With everything going on in the world, we just want peace. We want safety. We want to be able to reconvene with our family and supporters in this 2026 year, because me and Big Cuz got some special things cooking up for y'all. So y'all already know we need to see our family and supporters back here at the Main Thing Podcast Presents. But happy New Year to y'all, and we love y'all.
Hey, well, there you go. Mr. Owen, he beat me to it. Happy New Year's to y'all. We appreciate y'all sticking with us through this year. On to 2026, more great things to come. We're all becoming better versions of ourselves, and that should be the goal. Like Mr. Owen said, stay safe, stay blessed. If you don't know, I go by Big Husk.
And I go by Mr. Owens.
And this is the Main Thing Podcast, where we keep the main thing The main thing. Look, see y'all in 2026. It's fly till we die. Hey, on the rebound, we out.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.